Gonna do it this way so that I can pause and explain on things that I want to. Otherwise, this is my near perfect solo ohm again, only threw it away at the end because I knew it wasn't a PB, so I didn't care. But I'll just let this one play out for now. Start with small spec, summon a thrall. Then when it hit, get into mage. I actually messed that one up and turned the hand, or the head rather. And then it's just getting into shadow running. So again, I would recommend just learning this after you get 4 to 1 down. Just easier to learn one thing after another instead of trying to do both things at once. I do it a little differently. I lose ticks in my version of it, but the way that I do it just makes more sense in my head. Just keeps everything more straight. If you ever watch Gnome, it's a little bit different. But yeah, like I said, it's essentially the same concept. It's just I lose a little bit of ticks every rotation or so. Just ahead a little bit. So killed the hand, run over, waiting for 2 attacks. So there's one, and there's the second one. And so because he threw 2 autos, I need to do a 3 to 1. That was my second hit. There's my third hit. Now I go, and now I'm in cycle. And because he threw the crystals, those are going to hit me every 2 ticks, so you just have to keep moving, and they should never hit you. Don't spam click, just stay calm, but pretty easy to deal with. And if I would have missed that Elder Maul at the start, I would have thrown another one before I started getting into cycle and whatnot, but so flame phase, the worst phase. So hit 1 Maul spec. I was gonna go for a second one, but then realized like mid thought that I knew the hand was gonna cripple because of the number that I hit on it. So I knew that I couldn't do a second hit, which is why I ended up swapping into mage and then hesitating on the Maul that you saw. So what I should do is once this mage hand is done, is I should go and Maul spec the hand to start with once this mage hand is dead. That way this phase gets done with quicker, because this is where you're going to take a lot of damage either from the burn or the flame wall if you get if you do stuff wrong. So the quicker this phase is done, the better, because every time you get burned, that's 30 damage. So like here, the reason that his head didn't turn is I hit a 0 and my thrall also splashed. So that's the benefits of thralls, and that even if I splash, if the thrall hits a 1, it's still gonna turn his head no matter what. So, and that applies to both hands, both the mage and the melee hand, is if the shadow splashes or hits a 0, as long as the thrall hits, it'll still turn the head. If the lance hits a lot of 0s in a row, as long as the thrall continues hitting, it'll keep turning the head like normal. So that's the benefit of thralls. So hand's dead. I go for another Maul spec. So that's his first attack. Turns his head, so whatever his next attack is going to be gets skipped. So I saw that he just did 2 attacks very quickly, which tells me I need to do a 3 to 1. Now I'm pausing for a second before I go, because if he flame walls me, I'm screwed. And then now I'm in cycle, and so I'm stepping to that tile because if I want him to read me on that tile, because if he decides to throw a flame wall, there's not enough space for him to throw it, and so it'll just null, and he'll do an animation like he's throwing an attack, but it just won't do anything. And so I just kind of wait for my character to lock, and then I click over. So that was me skipping the flame wall right there, because of how I am stepping to that tile and staying in that row of tiles before I move over for my third attack. And so that's really important when you're running with thralls, because if you get caught in a flame wall, it's gonna screw up your cycle, and then then it's gonna mess it up, and you're gonna have to get back into it. And then you're also gonna take like 40-50 damage, if not more. So it's important to do that, and you'll see me do it here as well. This will get you into 4-1 every single time. Maul spec. Of course I missed both. Pause a tick, and then go. And then I'm going to that wall in case he throws flame. And now I'm in cycle. So you can either do 2 Maul specs, a Maul spec, and then just a normal Maul auto attack. You can do 2 Dragon Warhammers, Dragon Warhammer spec, and then just a regular Dragon Warhammer hit. Either work, they're both 6 ticks, so it doesn't matter. But if you do 6 tick hit, 6 tick hit, run all the way to that left side purple tile, you'll be in 4-1 every single time as long as you pause that tick and then go. And you get the timing down with practice, but it's a surefire way to get into 4-1 every single time, guaranteed. So yep, so right there, that was a flame wall that I skipped because I was up against the wall when he reads me. So he's reading me there, and then I go. 28 HP on left in the melee hand. You want to kill the melee hand first, but you want to get the mage hand down so that they can die at the same time. There, my character paths over the middle tile, the middle row of tiles rather, and he'll read me when I'm on that middle row of tiles, and I want to be able, and I want that to happen, because if he throws a flame wall, it'll null it, just like as if I was standing up against the wall when I was on the melee hand. Same concept. Because I just wanted it to be done, and realistically I should not have hit there, because if he throws a healing special right now, then I'm screwed. So that was a misplay on my part, but I got lucky. So you always want to kill the melee hand first. So I greeted that hit, hoping it would hit low, and it ended up killing the hand, so that was my fault. So with the head, you want to hit on those outside of tiles. You're going to hit once in the middle, kind of there, and then you're going to click 2 tiles out, and then hit, but you're attacking every 5 ticks. But this way you're just minimizing the how often Ulm is hitting you. So I'm going to click, attack, go through again. I'm going to attack again from the side, run all the way through, attack, and I panicked because I saw a crystal coming down on me, but I kept the cycle, and I just ate the damage, because whatever. And then I'm going to skip this, and I'm clicking through attack, and then this is where he throws out healing pools, and if I was going for perfect Ulm, I'd have to run and go grab one of those, but I don't care because I already have it, and I knew it wasn't a PB. But this is how you run that. This is how you run head phase, is you attack once from the very edge. And, yeah. through the mage hand because it's basically the same thing. It's nothing special. And this one was not as humble, if I remember right. So crystals right off the start, that was one hit. That was his second hit after a special. And so I know that he's set, because he did the crystals, and then he did 2 specials. And so he was set, but I messed it up, because I thought he wasn't, and I did a 3-to-1 when I shouldn't have. And so that's why he threw portals, is because I messed up that timing. And so now I know that he just did portals, so I know that his next special is going to be crystals, so I just decided to wait for it. So that was crystals, and then first auto, my second attack, and then I go. So again, like if I rewind a bit, so I know his last special was portals, his next special will always be crystals. And so there's his special, and so I'm waiting. He attacked, I attack a tick after he does, and I do 2 autos, and then I go. And now he's set, and that will always put you in 4-to-1. So you wait for crystals, you wait for him to attack you. The tick after you see his animation start, you attack. And that'll put you attacking a tick after he does. And you do 2 attacks and then go. And that'll put you in cycle every single time. And the rest of this is pretty straightforward. And then right here he throws Acid Walk on me, which again, there's no easy way to do this. This just comes with practice. But again, thankfully he did it at the very end, so I didn't have to do too much of it. But essentially what I would have been doing is just like tick walking, essentially, just to make sure that I'm not taking too much acid damage. But the most important thing that you do during that is keep up your 4-to-1 cycle. So if it would have if he would have thrown that on me earlier, you would have seen it. But again, that just comes with practice. There's no secret to it. So all spec, and I'm gonna go for another one because I want this phase done with. Red phase is the worst. Again, I just skip mage phase because it's not special. It's just the same thing. So I know the hand's dead. Swapping. Waiting for 2 attacks. That's 1, and that was his special. So I know that was his special. That was an auto. That was his next auto. And then I go. So right here. So when I get to the hand, I'm waiting for 2 attacks to see what he does. So right there, his first attack was a special, lightning. And this auto that he's throwing at the exact same tick is him trying to catch up in cycle. Essentially, it's a little more complicated than that, but essentially Olm is just trying to catch himself up because I made his head turn. So don't worry about this auto, it means nothing. His actual attack is the lightning special. So if you remember back to Olm's pattern, it's auto null, auto special. And so I know that he threw his special. His next attack is going to be an auto, and then he's going to do the null, and the null is when I want to be moving his head. So I saw his special come out. There's his auto, so now he's in his null, so I do 1 more hit and go. And I know that. And that's how you set up 4-to-1 off of a special. Is you wait 2 of his attacks, and you need to know where he's at in his cycle. So because his first attack was a special, I knew that I had to wait out 1 auto, which was that flame wall that I nulled because I was next to the wall. Then he goes into his null, which is when I need to be turning his head. So like right now he's in his null, and I turn his head to skip his next auto attack, and then that head turn right there skips his special, and then that's when he throws an auto, and then this is his null. That head turn skips the next auto attack, and then that turn skipped a special, and that's 4-to-1 essentially. So, again, mall specs, go over, swap into the lance, wait a tick, go. And then I want to be running to the wall in case he throws a flame wall. But I keep up to 4 to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the visual indicator that I'm using for when to go in for my third hit from the wall is when my character gets locked in place. So that's what I'm looking for. So I click to the wall, character locks, then I go. And that's how you figure out on both sides when to go if he's on flame phase, or this P3 phase where he can still throw flame walls. So again, pretty self-explanatory. Get the rest of the hand down, swap into mage. Shadow running, nothing special. So again, I want to be killing the mage hand, or the melee hand rather. A lot of lightning, so I'm taking it slow. I don't care about losing ticks, I just don't want to die. Okay, he threw a portal. I killed the hand. If I didn't kill the hand there, I would have just done the portals, went back to the melee hand, and killed it. No rush. Again, greeted a hit there, it happened to work out. Started running the ZCB to make head phase go a little faster, but doesn't make that big of a difference. Yep. And I messed up the timing there, and that's why he hit me. Messed it up again, so I'm waiting. And I'm just resetting up the cycle. And I was low, so I'm skipping hits to make sure that I'm alive. So now I'm going to click through and attack. Attack once, and then I'm going to attack on this on these side tiles. Go all the way there, click through, attack. And for all of these, you can see I don't have a Prayer Enhance in my inventory. I sip it before I go down, which is why I have 4 minutes and 30 seconds on it. That way it lasts for about half the home fight, but I'm also not wasting an inventory slot on it. Just because my inventory space is limited as it is. If I had a bunch of inventory space because I had less switches, didn't have my ZCB or whatever, then I might consider bringing it, but because my inventory space is limited, I don't bring it, and I just sip it as a pre-pot. Instead, swap into the gear. I always start with Prime Mage, just in case. So I'm waiting for 2 attacks, there's 1, and that's his null, and I know that. And because I was late on the timing, he threw another one, so I know that I need to do a 3 to 1. So if I go back, that's his 1 hit. And right here I should have recognized that's his null, but I was a tick late in recognizing that, so he threw another auto. So essentially he threw 2 autos at me, so I need to do a 3 to 1. That's my 3rd hit, and now we're in cycle. So I was a tick late on recognizing that that was his null, and he threw another auto at me, and so I had to go back, make sure I'm on the correct tick for his head to turn, and then do a 3 to 1. And the rest of this is pretty much the same, it's just 4 to 1. There was no acid in that one, so nothing special. Again, 1 mall spec. Didn't need to do the second mall spec, especially since it's not flame phase, but figured I have the spec, why not? It's gonna come back anyways, and I'll have it plenty for the next phase. So, skipping through mage hand again, it's not that important. Swap into the gear, always make sure you're overloaded, so he started out with crystals. That's his 1 attack. So again, right, so as soon as he looks at me, doesn't attack, it's crystals immediately. So I know that he's going to do 1 auto attack, and then that's his null. And that's when I need his head to turn, is on that null. because again, it's auto, null, auto, special. And so when I went to his hand, he threw a special, his next attack was going to be an auto, and then his next attack after that was going to be a null. And I know that because of his attack pattern. So I needed to recognize that and just go into 4-1 immediately off of crystals. Which again, getting into 4-1 off of crystals is the easiest just because it's the easiest special to dodge. Lightning, if it's in the first row, can mess up 4-1 cycle. Portals obviously messes up 4-1 cycle, but crystals you just have to move a tile away. It's very easy to dodge, and so it's very easy to dodge and then just wait out his one attack. So I do my one hit. I don't have enough for a special, so I just go for a regular auto attack to keep the timing, wait a tick, and go. So if I would have had another hammer special, I would have thrown it, but I didn't. So I just waited and did a regular hammer auto. Then again, I'm waiting until my character locks and then going. And again, that whole purpose of going to the wall is because if he tries to throw a flame wall at me, because there's no space for him to throw it, it'll null it, and he can't do anything. He'll do the animation, but nothing will come out. So again, it's not as important if you have Humidify, it'll mess up your timing, but you at least won't take 50-60 damage. But when you're running thralls, you have no way of getting out of flame wall, so it's important that you know how to deal with those. Character locks, and I go. Everything's pretty much the same. I cut it kind of close there with only 19 HP, but Mage Hand is whatever. Pretty sure I messed up the timing on that one, and that's why he threw portals. I was trying to greet a hit. So like there, I shouldn't have hit. So really right now is I'm off of the cycle that I normally do, so I just need to reset. I need to skip, yeah, so like right there, I just needed to skip a hit and just reset my cycle. I'm trying to make sure that I hit off cooldown, and I'm just messing up because of that. So realistically, what I should have done there is just wait out the falling crystals and just completely reset my cycle instead of trying to force hits. Again, forcing hits is what's causing me to take more damage than I need to. So he does the healing special. I'm just going to run all the way over. I don't want to hit the Mage Hand because I can hit a 33, and Melee Hand needs to die. So I'm going to hit there. He's going to read me. Again, I'm going to the wall to make sure that he doesn't throw a flame wall at me. He's dead. So I'll do a hit here, I'll run all the way through, I'll go to the next row of tiles, I'll click through, do a hit. And I didn't step through there because I was focused on overloading, so that is why. And so now I'm just gonna, because I messed up that timing, now I'm just sitting here brewing, so keeping the timing is important. Because you mess up the timing, then you're just stuck sitting brew, and then doing no damage, so. So again, just basically tick walking in order to make sure that I'm not taking too much acid damage. And that's essentially Ohm. So the biggest thing is in setting up 4 to 1 is recognizing where you're at in his cycle. So again, attack, null, attack, special is his cycle. And so if you go to the hand and he throws a special at you immediately, right away, whether it's crystals, lightning, portals, whatever, you know that you have, assuming that his head doesn't turn, you know that you have 1 auto that he's going to throw at you, and then he's going to do his null. And so on that null is when you need his head to turn. And again, that all comes with practice, but hopefully some of those examples kind of covers the basis of what you need to be looking for in order to recognize where you're at coming off the mage hand and getting into cycle and how to fix it. So hopefully that's somewhat helpful. But yeah, let me know if you got any questions, but hopefully that was helpful.